It's happening. It's happening. We're live. We did it.
Hello. It's Christmas.
Touch and go there. Merry Christmas, Debbie.
Merry Christmas, Bertie. How are you doing?
Yes. Yeah, good. Tech issues. Normally at this point, we're saying hello, but it's just for the cameras because we've already had about 10 minutes to prep. Today, like we've literally just joined. Tech issues all over the shop.
Go. So I've got this Christmas Space Odyssey look. Do you like it?
It's very, very impressive. I feel I should have had a few more lights. Maybe I can set a little glow going somewhere.
It's a wow, there you go.
There we go. Let's go red.
Let's go red for Christmas. So we're talking about setting goals this morning, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Setting goals with soul.
Goals with soul. I love it. I love it. Perfect timing for the end of the year to be thinking about where we want to be in 2021.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's right. Because I mean, this year it's been, we don't have to go into the mechanics of it, but for the majority, it's been a pretty much of a shit show, hasn't it? Like everything's just gone tits up. Like so, 2020, I think a lot of people are glad to see the back of for lots of reasons.
So bye 2020. Hello 2021.
And hello 2021. But here's the caveat. Nothing's just going to I'm just trying to figure out what I do with this app. Nothing's going to automatically change in 2021, right? It's just the next day. It's only going to change if we change it, if we focus on the things that matter to us. And that's why setting goals is really important. And when I talk about setting goals, I'm not talking about setting things like SMART goals and having this really sort of overcomplicated framework. Yes, those things are important. I'm not discounting it. The context that I wanted to talk about today was setting your own goals and making sure you're working towards the things that are important to you, because I think a lot of people aren't. And when you talk about people who are like, oh, I've got no motivation, it's like it's probably because it's not that they're not motivated, it's just they're not motivated for somebody else's goal. And this is really important, and that's what we want to talk about today, as in sometimes you need to step back and figure out what's important for you.
I think one of the words to add in here is intention. Like, what's your intention? Because I think if you know what your intention is, then you get motivated because you're working towards it. And I think when people think of goals, they do think they've got to be smart, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound, all of that stuff that's kind of drummed into us. But there is a stage before that, isn't there, which is just, what do I want? Who do I want to be? What's important to me? What do I want to experience? Like, how do I want to feel? All of that stuff. If you can get that stuff right, then you can go, okay, so this is my intention. This is how I want to experience life. This is how I want to feel. Then you can create those SMART goals. But I think you're right. And I think a big part of it is social media, isn't it? Looking at what everybody else is doing and then thinking, I had that this week. Like, oh my God, look at them launching that thing and they're on it and they're doing all this stuff and, oh, look at that person's website. And you can kind of end up going down a tunnel and then forgetting, but I don't want to do that. Why am I worried about what they're doing? I think that's a big part of it. So I love this goals with soul, like really thinking about where we want to be and what we want to do.
Yes, exactly. And like you say, the SMART framework and all those other things, they're important, but actually just understanding and being really honest with yourself. What actually do you want to do is a really good start point, because I think a lot of people aren't on the right path. And when you try and then create SMART goals, that's when it starts to get really tricky, because actually you're not doing the things that you either really enjoy or maybe you're in a job you hate, etc. So just stepping back and understanding that is really important. So I was just reading Steve's comments there. Let's just pop it on the screen. So morning, Steve. Good to see you. Steve took some photos for me yesterday.
Oh, fabulous.
They were around Nottingham. We're doing a full-on photo shoot.
I love it. I can't wait to see what they look like. So Steve says he prefers that language, intention, to mean more to me than goals. Yeah, and I think it is about setting intentions. And I think it's seeing your business as part of a bigger picture, as part of your life, as part of where do you want to live? How do you want to live? Like, what's important to you? And they've got to be kind of congruous, haven't they, with how you live your life? It's no point thinking, oh, we want to travel around the world loads if your value is family and being with your value. You've got to make sure that they kind of they fit with who you want to be and where you want to be, and they're not kind of moving you away from the things that are important to you. And yeah, not getting sidetracked by what everybody else is doing, which is super easy to do.
It is, and this is what we talk like when we talk about goals and working towards someone else's goals. Like, if you're constantly looking at things on social, which we all do, as you said, you've had it this week. I have it constantly with things like that. And a lot of the time, you're comparing where you are at this moment in time to where somebody else is in their journey, but they might be 2 or 3 years ahead. And it's like, actually, I want these things, and this is where the tendency to lean towards shortcuts and quick wins and looking for a silver bullet starts, because you almost want to accelerate that. So whether it's like, I want the same number of followers of them, or I want that engagement, how can I get there? You're forgetting about all the fucking hard work they've put in for the last 3, 4, 5 years, perhaps, to get them to this stage. So you end up comparing things that aren't like for like, comparing with where you are now to where you want to be. And actually, what I used to say quite a lot is, like when we had the takeaway business, and it was like, you're not worried about just eating all this other stuff. It's like, well, the more I focus on them, the less I focus on us. Yeah. So it's focusing on yourself, and you can't control those other factors. Those things are going to happen. Like when you were saying about social media, those people are going to put those courses out, and they're going to do things on social that maybe you thought about 6 months ago. It's like, shit, why didn't I do that? No, they've done it, and now it's going to look like I'm copying. And all of those things start to happen. But unless you just go ahead and focus on the things that you want to do, and then you're on your own path, and that's the most important thing. It isn't about following someone else's. So don't be looking at someone on social and think, I want to be like them. They've got 40,000 followers or 100,000 followers. It actually means jack shit in the real world, right? What it is, it's about following your own dream. So understanding that intention, to use your word, is the first point, I feel.
I think the other thing is that sometimes we're also comparing ourselves to people who are at similar stages, but we have different ways of doing things. For example, so I was looking at a lady, and she's all over it, and she's creating loads of content and blah, blah, blah. And I was kind of exhausted and thinking, God, why am I not doing all of that stuff that she's doing? And then I just thought, because I don't want to. And it was a really nice realization. It was like, I don't want to be doing all of that stuff. I don't want to be exhausted and be working 7 days a week and doing all of this. That's fine for them. And I think that's a realization as well, is there's lots of different ways to skin a cat. Like there's so many different ways to run your business, to do it your way, And I think that's the thing as well, is actually just like, they're doing their thing and that's great, but you just follow your own path. Like, be intentional with the time you want to spend, how you want to do it, the type of people you want to work with, the projects you want to get involved in. And we talked about missions, didn't we? Like, remember what your mission is. Like, remember where you want to be with that. I think that's really important. And then have that focus. Well, as long as everything I'm doing is getting me there, then I'm on the right track. Because you can get a bit waylaid with other people's strategies and other people's ways of doing things and feeling like, oh God, why am I not doing that? Is it because I'm lazy, or is it because I don't know? It's not about that, is it? It's about just doing things in the way that feels comfortable for you. So that's part of it as well. You might be comparing yourself to people further down the line, but you might also just be comparing yourself to people who do things in a different way.
Exactly, and hopefully, and they might even be comparing. They might even be following someone else's dream as well. And you just don't know, and it's a path to misery, essentially. Like, we've spoke before about the money being the result of doing the great stuff that you do, and all of this stuff is linked. But the goals and the intentions, that's the first point. Like, just question right now, like, what better time to do it? Like, we're coming to the end of 2020 and we've got 2021, we've got all of the good stuff that's on the horizon. Like, we can start today. We don't have to wait till New Year. And, statistically, most New Year resolutions get broke by about around the sort of 16th, like 2 weeks in, and that's it. They've all gone. So you can start now, like, figure out, you've got some time over Christmas. What actually do I want? Is this the right business to be in? Do I like being in this job? And all those things. And I'm not saying, on go and hand your notice in on the 1st of January or anything like that. Not at all. But if it isn't something that you're enjoying doing, then you can start to make a plan for it and actually accept that, actually, I'm not really enjoying this job. Do you know what? I'm going to spend a couple of hours in the evening and look for another one. But you've got your goal, then you've got all your intention, as you say, and then you can start working towards it. And that's really, really important. And don't worry about what people think. If you want to have a massive career change or change your business to something radical, if it's what you want to do, just do it. Just fucking do it. It's Christmas.
It's Christmas, guys, to shop. And also, if anybody wants, I've just created or rehashed my review of 2020 and a big fat hello to 2021. They're 2 workbooks I publish every year. So if anybody wants access to those workbooks, send me a DM or write in the comments and I'll send you a link so you can get them. Because I love printing them off and having a glass of wine and just doing that review thing and then setting those intentions and just taking some time to do a bit of navel gazing. What do I want? How did it go? Was it a good year? You know, that kind of stuff. I love it. So if anybody wants them, just drop in the comments and I'll post the link up. You know, that's a Christmas present from us to you.
Fantastic. Thank you. That's really good, Debbie. Thank you very much. Well, we're coming up to our 10 minutes. Oh, well, we've got another comment from Steve. Let's see what Steve's going to say. And that's what take the most strength to follow your own path, the hardest thing we do. Yes, indeed. And so, yeah, it's just too easy to follow somebody else's path, isn't it? It's just too easy. There's so much stuff of how the things that we should do. And people say, oh, you should be doing this. You're in business. You should be doing that. But you've just got to do what you want to do, essentially. And that's the path to happiness.
Yay! And then on that note, a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. We'll see you in January. Thank you very much for watching these 10 at 10s. If you're watching on the replay, say hi. We love you, and we'll see you in 2021. Have wonderful Christmases. Be merry.
Yes. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we'll see you that first week back. Is that what we're doing? Did we say? Yeah. Did we say a date? Yeah, we'll see you that first week back in January. I can't remember the date. You'll figure it out. All right. Bye. Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Bye.